Like you, I'm a busy designer in Figma trying to conquer a list of endless tasks every day. And let's face it, sometimes we find ourselves stuck in a never-ending loop of repetitive action. But fear not, there's a solution that can turn the tide in our favor and supercharge our workflow. It's called plugins. With thousands of plugins available, let me introduce you to 8 essential ones that I personally use every day. These plugins are game changers that can dramatically improve your workflow speed. First up, we have PropStar. What PropStar does is it generates all instances of your component and organizes them laid out well into a grid. It's perfect for organizing or creating design systems, or if you're not sure if you have missed a variant of your component. If all your components are all messy and they're out of place, you can just select this, run the plugin, and it gives everything laid out and labeled perfectly. So we have a 11Y color contrast checker. It's really important in this day and age to make sure that all your designs are accessible. So one of the great ways to do this is through contrast checking. So with this plugin, you select your frame and you run the plugin, and it'll tell you if things are AA or AAA compliant, and then it'll give you a little slider as well to show you how to make them compliant. So you can slide it up and down and change the color of your text to see when it's AA compliant. Next, we have Unsplash. So this saves so much time. So the traditional way of having to leave the file, go into Google, search for images, find images, make sure they're royalty free, download them, put them into Figma, and then put them into your card, and keep doing that with all your cards. It takes so much time. So with the Unsplash plugin, you just select your frame, you go and run the plugin, and then you can just straight away choose all these images that are all royalty free and load them in straight away. Next up, we have tints and shades. I find this one really helpful with design systems. So if you have your primary color, you can select your primary color and run the plugin, and then it'll give you tints and shades of that color. It's really helpful to set this up at the start as it sets consistency. As you're thinking about hover states or press states, you can already have them all laid out and know that they're based off your primary color. Material design. So the same as with Unsplash with images, this is now with icons. So instead of having to go online and find icons individually and drop them into your design as you're working things out, you can run the material plugin right within Figma, never leave Figma, and it gives you such a wide range of heaps of options of different weighting. There's a field or an outline, and you just search for whichever icons you're looking for and drop them straight into your design. This saves heaps of time. Next, we have type scale. So this is really good as well with setting standards at the start of our design system, or if you're setting up a bigger website and you want to look at setting your H1s to 6s, you can get your font, set a base size of 16, and then it'll give you a modular breakdown of different font weights and different font sizes, H1 to H6. This is a great way to set a base. You can edit it slightly if you're not happy with it. This saves so much time, but just giving you a very clean incremental type scale. Next up, we have Lorem Ipsum. So Lorem Ipsum is a dumb text language. This really helps when presenting designs to a client. If you don't have content yet, this will generate dummy content. So it will help with showing a client visual hierarchy of typography. So you just select the plugin and you run it. It will ask you how many sentences or paragraphs or words you want, and then you can go through and fill up cards or different paragraph sections or different columns, just so you can, when presenting work, it will save you a lot of time to show them how big paragraphs might be. It'll also help if you're working with a content writer as well, to show them roughly what you had in mind when you were doing the design, so they can frame their content that fits into the design and you can work together on that. Next up is mockup. This is a great way if you have presentations and you're trying to show some work in real situations with the client. So you just open mockup and it gives you all these free versions of fully 3D or high quality mockup. So you just select your frame and you choose whichever mockup. So if you want to put it on a computer or a phone, depending what you're trying to show to a client, you can do it within Figma. So instead of the old way of having to go online, download a mockup, put it into Photoshop, or you work from Figma, import it into Photoshop, and then put it into the mockup and then put it back into Figma. You can just do it all within the plugin within Figma. As you've seen, these tips and tools are incredible for saving you time and optimizing your design process. What if I told you there's even a faster way to boost your workflow in Figma? Check out this video to see what that is.